All right.
All right. We are live.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are we?
Okay. Hey. Back off. All right, back off. Whoa. See, you didn't see. That's why we got it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, that's why.
See?
That's why we have somebody here who can teach us how to do it right.
All right.
All right. So, how you doing? I'm
John.
Good.
Ken, great. How are you?
Ken, pleasure to meet you.
Charlotte.
Hi, Charlotte.
We did actually meet him before, but this is for show purposes.
Just for you
so
guys.
you guys can be familiar.
All right. So we're here today at Fighting Warrior Dojo, and Ken's gonna take us through. We've already learned the in the Army we call it the walk phase of these moves. So now we're gonna move into the crawl phase, so we go a little faster.
I think it's crawl, walk, run.
Oh, it is.
I
don't know.
That's okay. We've been taking some hits on the head. We've been taking some hits on the head, everybody. And luckily for all of you that enjoyed seeing me get bit by dogs, now you get to see me get thrown around by Charlotte. And probably Ken too. So, without further ado, Ken,
the first thing you're going to work on is you're going to go single leg
takedown.
Side control.
Single leg takedown to side control.
You've already worked it, so make sure you step forward, give her the leg that she's going to attack, and she's going to step in and take you down.
So,
in, wrap, perfect, wrap, and drive. All the way down. There you go. Now go to side control. Try not to get the leg caught between yours. She'll come out to the side. There you go. Now all the way down.
Knee.
Right, knee. Go arm underneath the head, palm up. Arm underneath the shoulder, palm down. Put your hands together to gable grip. There we go. Now you have a side control position. You're going to take your right arm and you're going to release your grip and slide it across the collar. Thumb inside. Go thumb inside. Change your hand. There you go. Now push the elbow down to the mat and up towards his head. There you go. Beautiful. Now, you have that arm that he's giving you perfectly right there. You're going to slide that top arm all the way across and grab his wrist. Slide the arm all the way across and grab his wrist. Take the other hand and grab your own wrist. Up on top. No. Go underneath and on top, right?
Oh,
there we go. Now you're going to lift the elbow and you're going to paint the knuckles. There we go.
You don't have coronavirus, do you?
No.
Okay. Phew.
And I brushed my teeth. You're welcome.
And there's two different names for that. It's either the Americana or Tequila. Very nice.
Ow. That kind of smarts.
Okay, so up and we're going to do it one more time. Last time you did single leg, this time you're going to wrap on both. So he's going to give you his front left leg. You're going to go around both of them with a good gable grip and drive him down. This time, make sure you go to the same side. Push. Shoot out to the side, come around them. Get your position underneath the head. Get your position. There you go. Downward pressure. Release your grip. Go across to the collar. Keep that left one underneath them. You want to stay in control with this one. There you go. Now push down and away. There you go. Now slide it across. Grab the wrist. Grab your own wrist. Lift and drag. Beautiful. Very nice.
Ow!
Are you okay?
Yes, I'm okay.
Okay.
By the way, did everybody notice my pretty toes?
So it's not my toes that are painted. It's
mine.
John's.
It's mine. It's the ultimate flex.
Okay. Switch roles this time. She's going to be the defense. You're the offense.
All right, I'll try not to do it like I'll try not to put you on the ground hard. Like,
We're good.
Put your left leg forward.
Friends. Still friends.
Put your left leg forward. There you go. Single leg first. Go to side control. You gave her the guillotine.
I did.
I always do it again. Let's do it right.
I
Keep the head inside. Don't give her the head. Shoot in. Head on the belt or on the belly button. There you go. Drive. Shoot out the side control underneath the head. Take that top side arm and slide it inside the collar. Thumb in. Push down and away. And reach all the way across. Grab the wrist.
Sorry.
There you go. Lift and drag. Beautiful. Very nice. Okay, so one more time to double leg.
All right, double leg.
Didn't mean to pull your hair.
Keep a good base. Let him reach for you. Left foot forward. Shoot double. There we go. Down. Shoot around to the side. Arm up underneath the head.
Oh no! I'm just a helpless, defenseless woman. Oh no!
No, you're not. I'll show you your part next time. Shoot your right arm across the neck. Go to the paper cutter. Down and away. There we go. Shoot all the way across to the wrist. And in. Beautiful. Very nice. And relax. Nice.
I don't really feel very manly beating up on a girl. I know you're pretty
It's a
tough.
controlled environment.
It is, but I still feel very awkward doing it.
I know, but he had his daughter.
No, I know.
And,
I know. I
we're
just.
more size.
I know. I just feel bad because Mom always raised
We
me.
all wear green.
No, I know, but
Green.
Mom always told me. Mom always told me.
Hey, everybody at work says go Charlotte.
Yeah,
Yeah.
obviously. So.
All right, so let's ask a couple of questions, right?
Yeah,
So
so-
what got you into all of this?
Okay, so at 12, I started karate.
Uh-huh.
I grew up in Brooklyn, in New York, was getting my butt kicked, and I just needed to do something. Initially, I went to my dad and said, Dad, I need to learn to defend myself. I was coming home battered and bruised. I grew up redheaded, freckle-faced, white kid in New York.
Yeah.
He
One of the
sent me-
safest
he sent-
neighborhoods in
One
New
of
York,
the safest
right?
neighborhoods in New York.
Safest.
Right. So-
Brooklyn, known for how tame and how nice it is.
So I ended up getting piano lessons instead. One day I came home, I got pulled off the bus, and I decided to use the piano. When I came home with the keys all busted out of it, and Dad said, if you can pay for it, you can do it. So I called the Daily News, and I ended up not just getting one news route, I got 3, so I can afford it. Went down the street to the Taekwondo school and started karate at 12.
You dated yourself a little bit by talking about having a news route. I'm
News
just
route,
saying.
exactly. Walked the streets,
I had
started
a-
at 3:30 in the morning
I had
before
a paper
school.
route. Thanks
Right.
for.
So that's how I started, but that's almost 42 years ago.
Yeah.
So I started out with stand-up, did all the karate thing, got a black belt in Taekwondo, got a 6th degree in Goju. That was my karate history. And then I blew my knee out in the Army running a PT test. My kneecap literally was attached.
Ooh.
So I needed to
Not
learn
good.
something because the stand-up was making my knee swell for 2 weeks at a time. So that's how I learned the ground fight. I was able to get on my back and use my legs, still be able to use them, but I didn't have that stand-up
Yeah,
ability.
it's a little bit of shock absorb. It takes some of the
It
shock
is. It
absorption
takes a
away
lot
from,
of shock
that.
from the body, and especially if you're talking about longevity, and that's what happens.
You're not
People hurt
you're not
themselves.
taking kicks to the side of the leg or anything like that.
And I
So
can
you're-
still do that. We do that here. We do
Yeah.
MMA, we do stand-up, we do boxing, we do all of that stuff at the dojo, but I can do it in limitations. I actually teach the Jiu-Jitsu program that we have.
Awesome.
So
And
that's how I got into it.
And where are you guys located in San Antonio?
We're actually off of Wurzbach and Evers. The address is 6162 Wurzbach Road, but we're at the corner of Wurzbach and Evers in San Antonio on the west side, going towards SeaWorld.
All right, yeah. So by SeaWorld, if you're looking for a place, because you were also talking about how affordable you guys have made it because this is such a big hobby that you
We
have.
are. For the Jiu-Jitsu class, it starts at, and I'm going to give you the new rate because it'll change in June. It's going to be $70 for us, and we charge about $100 to start for most of the other programs that we have.
Okay. Nice. See, so you've got an affordable and pretty welcoming school. This is I'm assuming that you take people. You're telling me you have some pretty diverse clientele. You got guys that are really big guys that are trying to lose weight, and you've got
We do. Most of the people that come in have tried it somewhere else, just like yourself, and they find it a home here because it's more of a family.
Gotcha.
We're here to help you. If you want to sit during class and watch, you're not going to get yelled at by me. It's your money. You train the way you want to.
Yeah.
You want to go hard, you just say, hey, I want to roll harder, and tell the person that you're rolling with you want to go harder. You want to go less, and you want to work just technique. All you got to do is say so.
Yeah.
I'm here
that's
to
the
teach
beautiful
you.
thing.
Right.
That's the beautiful thing about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as opposed to some of the other things where you can slow it down to a snail's pace and still get the technique down. Whereas in boxing, you kind of have to go kind of at a little bit faster pace.
You do.
Nobody's sitting there going, throw your punch like this, right? But in Jiu-Jitsu, we can make sure that the hands are getting placed properly.
If you can do it slow, then you can always speed it up. And that's the mentality of it. The idea is that a smaller person can control a larger body in a scuffle, any type of circumstance that you're in.
Part of what
because
definitely showed here.
you guys can't see it because this blue gi hides it so well, but I have gained all my race weight that I lost back. I am no longer 160 pounds. I am 200 pounds, and I know for a fact, because I'm not going to tell her weight on air because that's impolite, but I know for a fact Charlotte is not 200 pounds. For a fact. She is much, much less.
So, and I took a class with you a couple years ago. We came here for Army PT, and I took down a gentleman that was about 250 pounds.
Holy guacamole!
So, doing some of the same
techniques that you're doing now. We started with the stand-up because most confrontations start at stand-up and it ends up on the ground. Yeah. So that's one of the reasons why we do jiu-jitsu first, is because you need to learn how to ground fight if you ever want to stand up. All fights are going to end up on the ground. So once you get that down, then we back it up and we change the roll, and then you start learning your stand.
Nice. So what else you got for us, Ken?
Okay, so we'll go through some of the other throws and takedowns that we work. So you guys have already done a single and you've already done a double. So now we're going to go break the base. Okay, that's just going to be to drop him on his back. When you drop him to his back, we're going to work the same technique that you did from side control, but this time you're going to do it from mount. So I'm going to use John as an example real quick. I'm going to drop him and I'm going to show you, and then you guys will practice.
How fun.
So if me and him are coming up to each other and he's in a fighting stance, which means I know he's going to throw something at me, I want to change levels. I want to get up underneath him. My forehead is going right into his chest. I'm not spearing him and looking at the ground. I'm hitting with my forehead, and I'm going to wrap. Gable grip in the back. So I'm going to push and pull. As I drop him down, we come to the top. The top position is called mount. We're going straight to the same technique. So the thumb is going to go inside, and we're going to paper cutter. Arm goes back because it's a natural reaction when you fall. We're going to shoot out. Elbow's going to go in the notch. Hand's going to come up underneath. All the weight's going to be down on the shoulders so I don't get that wet noodle effect. All I got to do is lift and drag, and I don't have to do a whole lot. If I give him space, then he has all that flexibility in his shoulder, so I don't want that. Okay? So, these are all yours, Miss Charlotte. So break the base, go to mount, watch your knees.
All right, so
step 1 foot forward. There you go. Step into him, head in the chest, push. Pull, down, go straight on top, hand inside, gets the one. Once he finishes, he taps that one. Now go out and grab the arm, take the arm, slide it across, keep the elbow down, put your weight on the shoulder, lift and drag the knuckles.
Am I doing it right? I think so.
Yeah, there you go.
There it is, beautiful, very nice.
I didn't want to get it torqued, but I didn't want to give it to you, so I was like,
so you get comfortable on both sides. What I want you to do is the same thing, but this time I want you to attack with that hand. Okay. I want the left hand to go in the collar, and I want you to Americana or key lock the other arm. Okay. You guys keep going to the right, but you don't always have that option. Okay, so you're going to do the same thing, but you're going to equal opportunity, and that way you're sore on both sides in the morning.
Good,
and have a
good. That's what I was hoping for, is to be sore on both sides.
Perfect.
I like symmetry.
And just because he's over there, turn to him, so it makes it a little bit easier.
Right.
Straight, drop him down, climb up on top, and finish. Push. There we go. Up on top. Now your left hand reaches in.
Grab.
There we go.
Paper cutter first, thumb inside, push down and away with the arm. Beautiful. Okay. Now reach across and go with the arm. There you go. Lift and drag. Okay. Very nice. Now if you stand up, now it's his turn.
I'm going for a ride. No, I'm just kidding.
Nice.
I'm gonna be really nice to Charlotte because she's my friend. I'm not gonna be like she was to me, where she actually hurt me. No.
Now remember, just as a safety thing, she is a girl. Watch the way you hit her, because as you go down, she may decide she wants to use her knees. So be nice when you drop her.
Yeah.
Ready? And go. Shoot in, push and pull. Climb up over the top. Keep the body weight down. No. Keep the weight down. All we're going to go is paper cutter first, right? Yep. Paper cutter down and away. Push down and away. There we go. Now slide the arm across. Don't give her space.
You're right.
Slide the arm across. Reach up underneath. Lift and drag. There you go. Now, you saw why she had so much flexibility, because you gave space. You've got to keep your weight down on the shoulder.
My mantra.
Okay, so, just like her, we went both sides. We're going to even it out. So, go back, same thing. This time, you're going to attack the opposite arm.
All right. You want to scoot forward off the track?
Shoot in. Break the base. Mount. Paper cutter. Down and up, nice. Now release the grip, grab the wrist, drop the elbow down, up underneath, and in and up.
I'm pretty flexible, sorry.
Yeah, I was like, I can torque it if you want. I was trying to be nice.
A lot of it has to do with the weight that you put down on the shoulder.
Right.
If you isolate it, it makes it move a whole lot less. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is we're working takedown so far. I showed you guys 3 different throws. Okay, so the first one is going to be that big leg. Okay, so I'm going to use John because he knows how to fall, right?
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
he's coming right at you. We're going to step through and we're going to hit with a straight leg and back. Same thing. We're going to shoot down into side control because it's right there. We have control. We can go straight across and finish if we need to.
Don't you guys love that I'm the guinea pig for all the stuff?
I do.
Charlotte does. I'm taking about 6 more falls on average.
Remember, big leg, we're not kicking with the heel. We're using the whole leg and we're pulling it back. Kick it up as high as you can. And the farther back you bring the momentum,
So
the harder he's going to hit. There you go. Step up with your left foot and you're going to kick through with the right.
Remember that piece you edited, John? I didn't think it needed it.
Yes,
Wham.
step up, and there we go. Straight to side control, go straight to the forearm attack. Go straight to key lock. Yeah, we don't want to mess with the paper cutter on that just because you don't have real control over the inside.
Okay.
If in a normal world we had all the skill set, as you dropped him, we could always attack. There's a lot of things. Yeah, he's got. We can always attack that near side, right? So let's say we drop, we have the arm. All we have to do is come in and go straight. Once we had a bigger set of skills to work with, you can attack everything.
Just getting
right?
beat on.
You have a background.
I do have
That's the problem with telling me that you have a little bit of experience.
I kind of know what I'm doing. Good. Come here. Let me hit you. Oh, man.
It's not about hitting you.
No, I know.
It's all about control, right? Remember what I told you. If you can do it slow,
You can do it
you
fast.
can do it fast.
Speed usually
right.
hides slot.
Slow means control. You'll have control over your opponent and yourself. You won't hurt them. Because remember, in a dojo like this, where I have 53 bodies, right?
A lot of people
my
flying around.
lightest ones are 122. My heaviest one is 380. They can hurt each other quickly,
That's,
right? So it's all about control. Because if you send your opponent home injured, you have less people to work with.
Exactly.
We want to keep them coming to class every day, and we want it to be a hobby. They're not here to beat each other.
Save
It's not
the
a profession.
beating for when you get into it on the streets.
So the other part of that is with the control and learning, like PTSD therapy and that kind of stuff.
For PTSD, and I'm one of them, I'm a 90% disabled. They actually got me as social anxiety when I got out. If you'd know me, I can teach, I can train, I can get in front of large groups, but in my personal life, I don't interact well. I always want to put my back against a wall. I mean, it's just one of those things. But in this environment, I thrive.
Yeah.
So it depends on what you have and what your issues are, and you can work through it. Like I have some that have a hard time being in a closed space. You know, Liberty, can I borrow you a second? Take your glasses off. This will be a perfect example.
This
Go
is
on your
his
back.
daughter,
This
by
is
the
my
way.
daughter, Liberty.
Somebody else is going to get...
So we're not going to squash. I'm
No.
just going to give you an example of what I'm talking about. So from that side control position, if I decide to go to mount, for someone that has a hard time with closed spaces, what we do is we try to suffocate. So I'm going to put one arm under the head. I'm going to scoop my knees up, and I'm going to cinch, and I'm going to control. There's not a whole lot that she can do. So for someone that's come back and has a hard time with small spaces or being confined, you get them to work through that. When they start to stress, you have to continue to hold and slowly let them work through the issues, because if you break as soon as they hit it, they're never going to surpass it. So slowly over time, they can work with that as an issue. And as you start doing it, you can tell what the issues are.
Right.
So that's just one of them that we find a lot. I have like 4 or 5 guys right now that have that issue. So we constantly go to that suffocation stage. They know they're not going to get choked out. They know they're not going to...
It's a safe, controlled
It's a safe, controlled environment. At any time, the person can relax the grip and they can slow down the process. But over time, you build it up. I had one guy that literally went about 12 seconds initially. Now he's up to 4 or 5 minutes of me being in that mounted position, and he doesn't stress anymore.
Yeah.
I literally last summer took him to our swimming pool, put a pair of goggles on him, and put him in the water and stepped on his back, and he didn't stress.
Wow.
So
Wow.
over time,
That would be
it
big
works.
for me.
Over time, it works, but
Wow.
you have
Yeah.
to talk
You have to control.
longevity.
Yeah, you have to talk, and you have to talk it out. One of the things that I really liked when I was training was the slow pace allowed you to analyze what's going on, because our instructor would put us in really bad positions.
And you can always adjust.
Yeah, and he would say, get out of it. So you're in a bad position. Most people in bad position initially start to panic, and the very first time you do that, you know, we would panic. But then eventually we would stop, control our breathing.
Yep.
And what do they tell you for any sort of, you know, anger management or getting control of yourself in a very exciting situation?
Control of
Control
you,
your
and
breathing,
then
getting
figure
control
out,
of you.
Right.
Yep.
Start thinking with your human brain, not your, like, you know, primal brain of like, oh, I'm in danger, I'm this,
And
that.
all the excess muscle movements
Yep.
and the getting tired, and that's what Jiu-Jitsu is.
Exactly.
It's problem solving 101. You can use it in the dojo because you know for a fact. What if I put you in a rear naked choke and you try to use an armbar escape? It's not going to help you.
Exactly.
It's picking the right scenario,
Exactly.
right defense and escape to fit that situation. It's the same thing out on the street. Somebody approaches you, you don't know if they have buddies behind you. So do you want to get into that confrontation?
No.
Do you want to drop to the floor where people can stomp on you? It's all about the scenario that you're in, and you have to control it.
And then mentally, the same thing as well for, you know, the guys that we're talking about, like the PTSD treatments, is like, you know, being able to stop yourself from what I used to experience was a very depreciating kind of spiral down. Something bad happens and you start that negative self-talk and it keeps going down and down and down and down. When you have this skill set that you've developed in the gym, you can apply it to that skill set as well.
Right, and that's
owning
the and that's the key to the belt.
Right.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't mean to
No,
cut
you're
you off,
fine.
but that's the reason why it's important to see the stripes, to see the progression, to see the expansion. You see that you're learning and you're getting better over time.
Exactly.
Then slowly you go to the next belt and you work up. You have a goal. Where as you're spiraling down, you don't see that goal. You don't
Exactly.
see that short-term or
Nope.
long-term target. Everything just goes gray.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
you lose it.
Mine is more, especially when I got back from the first and second deployments, anger.
Yeah.
I don't, it takes a lot now for me to have that anger spark, but then it was super easy.
Yeah.
Anything would just, and I'm talking like, and I know you probably haven't really seen that side of me very much.
No, I
Not at
haven't.
all, but
We were friends before we worked
Yeah,
at Grunt
yeah.
Style, and
But,
I more so I was friends with her husband, and we are giant children, and so we have seen the
And you can see that in here. I mean,
No,
you'll
you
see it in
haven't.
here.
I really
People
kinda
people
chilled
initially, when they're beginners, you know, they get that anger. You know, someone gets a bad position on them, somebody does something that hurts them. The first thing they want to do is yell back. They want to, but it's all an
Yeah.
accident. Nobody in here wants to hurt
Right.
you. It's
Exactly.
not like in other gyms where they fight the new guys, they hurt them, they throw them off to the side, and they just run through the beginners because they're
Yep.
trying to get better. That's not like that here.
Yeah.
You know, everybody here is to work for each other. It's all about helping the teaching and moving ahead.
Yeah.
So the anger gets quelled down real quick, and you get to control.
right.
You know, so the person isn't going to overdo it. Once you get to that anger stage, we're going to take it down,
Yeah.
and we're going to show the fix for it.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to learn the defense. You're going to learn the escape if you don't know it. Nobody's here to hurt you. You may feel some tension in the arm bars. You're going to feel some pressure on the neck.
Yeah.
You know, but most of those, if we have that scenario, I'm the one that'll take the beat.
Yeah.
I've got the most experience here, and the daughter will tell you I come home hurt all the time, you know, broken finger, broken toe, and like I was telling you guys before off camera, you know,
Yeah.
280-pounder knee in the collarbone, broke the
Sometimes,
collarbone. So it happens.
Sometimes
but
you
it's
just-
all an
yeah,
accident. It's not an on
And that's-
purpose thing, and that's
you know,
what happens.
It brings me up to another good point about like life though, and dealing with kind of like your PTSD symptoms. Sometimes some things happen that even though you have all this experience and all the knowledge in the world, sometimes things just happen.
It does.
And you have to just kind of, you know, the only way to get through it is to go through it. You know,
A
there's
black belt
Exactly.
with 3 stripes didn't stop a 280-pounder driving his knee into my collarbone, and there was nothing I can do,
Yeah.
because I'm 173, to stop it from happening.
Yeah.
It happened. I finally moved him off, but it was already done.
And then you just had to deal with it.
And
you
I had to deal
you
with
had
it.
to find a fix.
And I
you
worked
had-
it, right.
Exactly.
So for the rest of the month, like I told you, I would fight with my arm across my collar to keep my collarbone safe, and I fought with one hand and my two legs.
Yeah.
So it happens.
Yeah, so the same goes for you guys. You know, sometimes in life you'll think that you have a really good streak going on, and then something just comes and hits you out of nowhere, and it's almost debilitating. But what you have to be able to do is you kind of gotta. I talk about mindfulness and just experiencing it. Like, okay, you know, this probably isn't here to teach me a specific lesson, but what lesson can I learn from this? And that way you grow even through a bad circumstance.
And that's one of the things as a dojo that we have as a philosophy that we teach is we don't ever step back. So even in that scenario, you don't step back, you just stop. You freeze. We don't want to go back to where we were before because we made progress. We want to stop there and always move ahead. If you take a step back every time, sooner or later you're going to fall back into old habits, old routines. You want to just freeze where you are and keep moving ahead. So we even in fighting, we never back up. You're going to take the blows, you're going to absorb the impact, and we're going to constantly move forward.
Either take ground or hold ground. Take ground or hold ground, guys.
Don't give it up.
You never give it up. Guys, I think we're closing in on, is there anything else that you'd like to show us before we end the show?
Sure. If you guys want, we can do one or two more.
One or two more.
Let's go through the ground fighting piece. I'll do it to Liberty, and then you guys can do it. How you flow from one position to the other and stay in control. Okay? So if I can get my daughter to lay down here, we're going to start off in that side control position. We're going to go from side control to mount.
Okay.
Once we get the mount, it's one of the better positions to control. But she's going to bump me, and when she bumps me, I'm going to stay in control, and I'm going to pull closed guard so that way I'm still controlling her. So I start off with that side control position. Palm up, put my weight down. I'm going to take my knee, and I'm just going to drag it across her gut. Once I get the mounted position, I want to reach up, I want to grab collar, and I want to grab her sleeve. And she's going to put her hands on my belt, and she's going to bump me. When she bumps, we roll. But even though she rolled me, I want to stay in control. Okay? So I'm still in control of her. My legs are around her, and I can pull her towards me. I can push her away. Even on the street, if she decides she wanted to throw punches, I want to keep her away so that way I don't get hit. If she's reaching to grab, I can pull her close so I have control, and we can constantly move to better positions over and over again. It's all about staying in control, just like out on the street or in life. You have to stay in control of what's happening in your environment. Same thing with this. Right? So if you guys want, I'll work with John. You get Miss Charlotte.
All right.
Okay? So you're going to start in side control with me.
All right.
And you're going to go to mount. Okay, so just lift the knee, drop it across. There we go. Make sure you posture up so you can get a good position. You're going to grab my collar with this hand and my sleeve with the other hand. And you sit back and grab my sleeve. Right? I'm going to grab the belt. I'm going to bump it. I'm going to roll you to your tuck side. Lock your legs around my waist. There we go. Because I'm going to sit back, and ultimately my job's going to be is to try to get out. Exactly. So if you're going to go there, grab both sleeves. Put both feet, get my arms on the outside of your knees in control. You want to pull and push. You're going to push my hips away as you don't bend your legs straight. Keep them bent. There you go. That's called spider guard. Beautiful. Very nice. I can tell you got a little bit of back. Nice. So let me do it to you once. So that way you see how it feels. All right? So we got side control. Right? We're going to drag. We're going to go to mount. If you decide to bump, depending on how you bump and how you lean me will depend on how I roll and what I do. So if you throw me up and over, I pull guard, and then I have control. Now, as you start to break, I'll stay in control, so that way, you see what you just did? You committed your arms to my waist, you left wide open. So before you know it, we have issues, right? Because first you did is you leaned in. So
just enough experience to have bad habits.
Right, so you want to sit back on your heels and keep your neck away. So when you push down and away, you want to push down and away, but you want to keep the body far enough back, then drive it over and go out the side control. There you go, perfect. Now go back to mount. Change your grips, go to collar and sleeve, right? And sit up and roll. This side. Beautiful. And you can go spider or, like I said, you want to go.
Yeah.
I always go full guard because you want to stay in control first.
Yeah.
And then from full, you can always go to spider or one of the other options.
Yeah.
Good. Beautiful. Very nice.
All right, and that's
Guys,
all we've got for today.
Yeah, that's all we've got for today. I hope you enjoyed watching me get my butt kicked by a girl, but a very tough girl, no doubt.
All right. So stay tuned to our show on Monday, and let's see what we're gonna do next week too.
Next week, I think are you gonna beat me up next week too?
I don't know. Maybe.
We'll see, guys. You guys stay tuned. Make sure you tune in every Thursday at 1 p.m., every Monday at 11 a.m. Guys, we love having you. Love every one of you that's watching. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
That's it.